Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Fulfillment Era podcast. This is going to be episode 22. You can reinvent yourself at any point in your life. This episode is coming to you at a time where I have been going through rebranding, reinvention, re-identifying, reclaiming, all of these words, right? And I wanted to talk about this because we have 4 months left of this year, which is just crazy to me. And I really wanted this episode to be a pep talk for you that at any point you can decide to make a change. You can decide to reinvent yourself, to choose something differently for yourself, to think differently. I have really been getting into identity work and mindset work, and I have just watched my life transform. And of course, this has all been a catalyst from me going through a breakup where a lot of this stuff has come to light. But you don't even need a breakup. You don't even need some life-altering event to happen in your life to decide that you want to reinvent yourself, that you want to make a change, and that you want to change your life. And in today's episode, we're just going to go through that, and we'll go ahead and just kind of reset into the space. We'll take those 3 deep breaths together wherever you are. If you want to close your eyes, feel free to do so, but we'll go ahead and take that first inhale in and exhale it back out. Second one in and exhale it back out. Last one in, hold it, release in 3, 2, 1, exhale it back out. This idea came through to me as last week I was hosting my Life Rebrand Masterclass, which was so fun to do if you were able to join. I absolutely love doing that masterclass, and I feel like it planted a lot of amazing seeds for those that have joined. And if you didn't catch the replay, I will put it in the link below for you. The replay is now available for purchase if you were not able to sign up. But that masterclass was really powerful and potent and really just talked about how you can change your life at any point. It's just a matter of you deciding today. And the Life Rebrand Masterclass was really just a cute way of saying, get ready to change your life. You know what I mean? And today I really just wanted to tell you that you can decide today that you want to change your life, and you can decide today that you want to reinvent yourself. And I'm just going to walk through, what's coming through for me as to what it's going to take in order to make that happen. And I also wanted to announce that I am relaunching my signature program, Activate Your Life. This used to be a 6-module course where people would watch the course and then I would help them answer questions and things like that. I threw out the course and I have revamped this entire curriculum. Activate Your Life is now a signature course all about identity work, mindset work, and vision work. The core things that you need to truly change your life. Habits and Routines Accelerator is okay, here's how you can put those things into motion, but we need to first come within and we need to examine who we are being, who do we want to be, what does our mindset look like that is supporting that identity, and what do we want to create in our life from this new lens of our identity and our mindset. So it is a 10-week group coaching program that is a course now. And it's going to be launching. It's going to be starting September 19th. It is already launched. If you're interested, I will put the link in the show notes for you. There's no application process, no discovery calls. If you feel the nudge, it's time to sign up essentially. And maybe this episode is that kick in the butt that you need. If you really felt like life has been stagnant, if you feel that you've been letting yourself down, if you really want to learn how to create actual change in your life that is sustainable by focusing on identity and self-concept work, this is going to be the program for you. So I'm going to leave details for you in the show notes. If you're listening to this when this gets uploaded today on Tuesday, the early bird pricing ends tonight. However, if you are listening to this episode and you want to hop in and you happen to be listening to this episode after Tuesday, August 29th, just send me a DM. I'll work on things with you, but I've made this a super affordable price for a group coaching program, and I'm happy to work with anyone on that. I also have a payment plan available, so if you have any questions, just let me know. But we start September 19th and we'll meet on Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. Central. I'm very excited for this curriculum and to take, whoever signs up through this program. It just feels like I'm getting to pour in months and months and months of transformation into this program and get to help you guys do the same and to keep you accountable and to support you. And the beautiful thing about coaching is that you just get to feel supported while you make these changes. You get to feel like you're being held accountable, and you're more than likely going to follow through on these things. Maybe you've been trying to make a change by implementing things here and there, and nothing's really stuck. So hopefully by my teachings and my guidance, you can hopefully start to see some changes happen. And again, we have 4 months left. And I don't mean to say that in like, you have 4 months, it's time to hustle, it's time to grind. It's just like, do you want to take advantage of the time you have available to you? Because you can make a lot happen even in a week, in a day. You can make a lot happen in a month. You don't need to essentially push off change because you don't have enough time. You can take control of that time today and start to think differently, start to show up differently, all of that. And that's the whole point of reinvention, is that it's all in your hands. And I don't mean that to intimidate you, but you really can take control of your life today, and you can start to make these changes. Even if the first step for you is just taking awareness. In the Life Rebrand Masterclass, the first step was awareness and auditing. If your first step is taking a look at where everything is at in your life, that's a step. And that's what I'm going to mention as the first thing you need to do when you want to reinvent yourself. You got to take inventory of what's going on in your life, what's going on with yourself. Who have you been? What have you been doing? Is that in alignment with what you've been wanting, right? If you say that you are wanting a healthy and strong body, but you're not doing those steps to get there, that's something to examine. And I really want you to look at it from an outside third party perspective. Like, take yourself out of it, take your feelings out of it, your judgment out of it, and just look at things objectively of like, okay, I've been wanting this. I've had this on my vision board for the year. Have I been following through on it? Or I've been wanting this for myself, but I've been doing this instead. Really examining those things for yourself is going to be key. And then that's when you can start to move into, okay, this is who I've been. Where do I want to go? Who do I want to be? How do I get there, essentially, right? And there's certain things that you can do today to start doing that. And another thing that I've been, preaching about in a way is like, are you in that mode of doing, or are you actually being? And what I mean by this is like, if you are trying to eat the healthy meals or drink a lot of water or whatever, so then you are healthy, we're looking at this from the wrong perspective. We want to embody the identity of a healthy person that then does those things. When you look at it from this perspective, it just adds more of that like intention behind it of like, no, I am being this person, so then I follow through with it. If you are just kind of like doing the checklist of things, right? Like, I see this with 75 Hard. I'm going to, do the meditation. I'm going to do the journaling. I'm going to read the book. I'm going to do the 2 workouts a day, blah, 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 blah. And it's just a checklist of things. It's not really talking about who the person that you are being, whether you're being a disciplined person or a devoted person, or someone who practices mindfulness, or someone who is emotionally aware or intelligent. We really want to think about who is that person that we're being, because it just is more sustainable that way, rather than just doing the things for the sake of the doing them, right? We're not thinking about, okay, who am I actually becoming while I'm doing this? And so that's what I want you to think about with this reinvention, that you really can reinvent yourself at any point. It's just a matter of aligning yourself with who you want to become. And I don't want you to think that you need to completely change who you are at your core. You don't need to become something that doesn't feel aligned for you. If you're not like a super extroverted person, I'm not telling you to become a super extroverted person. However, if you are someone that has been keeping yourself away from potential, social situations or networking or things like that, because you're just not that kind of person, that's where you could be seeing some unalignment happen, right? When you're kind of keeping yourself from things because you're just not that person. So this identity thing can also go two ways, right? When we say like, oh, I'm just not that kind of person, we're keeping ourselves from that. But when we say like, oh, I am that type of person, it just kind of like attaches more meaning to it, essentially, because we could say like, oh, I'm just a procrastinator, and that keeps you from doing things because you've identified yourself as a procrastinator. So you want to be very aware about how you are labeling yourself with some of these things. I made switches like that where like, I'm not lazy. I'm just feeling lazy today, like certain things like that. And we've talked about where my whole thing about motivation of like, I'm not feeling motivated today, to I'm just not feeling like taking action today, right? Because we've had that whole thing where action generates motivation. You are never going to feel motivated right off the bat unless you are like so aligned with what you are doing and why you're doing it, but you have to take the action to then feel motivated. So needless to say, we want to take into account, right? Where are we currently at? What is the awareness of things? Audit ourselves. Think about how we're labeling ourselves currently. How do we currently view ourselves? And then that's when you can start to think about, okay, who do I want to be? Like truly and honestly, right? If you are not that super loud, extroverted person, then get in line with who you want to be, right? You might not be the loudest person in the room, but you want to have maybe meaningful conversations with the people that you interact with. You want to walk into a room confidently, even if you are more introverted. I've been really practicing that, right? If I'm going to be a magnetic being that attracts these things, when I walk into a room, I'm not looking at my phone. I walk up with my head held high, right? I've been practicing this actually in the gym, because typically I walk around the gym, just looking at my phone while I'm going to the next machine. I've actually been walking like with my head held high, my chest up, right? Going to the next thing. And I've just been noticing the difference in that, right? As I'm going from one machine to the next or whatever, one exercise to the next, it makes such a difference in how you carry yourself. And then you attract more and more. And even with this idea of who you're wanting to become or who you are, it's such a simple shift sometimes in just stating it and claiming it. I had this realization with confidence recently where I've gone through Maddie Maple's metamorphosis program and I had such like a shakeup with my confidence in the past year because I was attaching my confidence to external things. And I started to question myself, well, like if I am not attaching my confidence to external things, then like what is confidence and like how am I confident? And I just had this like realization that like I just have no choice but to be confident. Like confidence just is. Like, of course we can do things like skills and things like that to develop more confidence in that. But like, I just have to be confident and I just have to accept that my confidence just is. Like, I am confident. Like, that's just how it has to be, if that makes sense. Which like, I feel like it just sounds so crazy, but like, it's just something to tap into of like, I am confident, and just tapping into that and not letting things that happen in this 3D outer world kind of like shake me up in a way, which is definitely taking some practice, right? Because when I'm listening to that self-doubt voice, it could be really loud, but I'm just trying to turn down the volume and do whatever anyway, right? And it's the same thing with, I have been stating, I am hot. I've just been saying I'm hot, and honestly I think I've gotten hotter, because I used to be the type where everyone just calls me cute. Everyone always says, "Aid, you're so cute. Oh my god, so cute." And I'm like, no, I want to be hot. So I have just been saying I am hot. One of my affirmations is like, I'm getting hotter, more successful. What do I say? I say like, I'm getting hotter, I'm getting more successful. There's like other things to that with each and every day, essentially. And that just, I feel like has allowed me to even glow up with that energy shift of realizing like, you know what? I am hot. I also started saying like, I am a catch. I am a catch. I bring a lot to the table. I know what I bring to the table. And you might be sitting there thinking, well, you're Aid, like you are Aid. What am I? And you really have to start examining yourself and give yourself more credit. I guarantee you, I could probably hop on a call with you for 30 minutes and I can tell you all of the things about yourself that you are not giving yourself credit for. And you're being too hard on yourself because you're comparing yourself to social media. You're comparing yourself to other people. You're comparing yourself to where you might be in life. And you need to just come back to yourself, cut the noise, cut whatever else, cut the crap too. And just examine yourself and know that you are whole and you are enough and you are capable, and you need to remind yourself of that. It doesn't matter what's happened in the past. It doesn't matter who you've been. At the end of the day, we all have these tendencies within us. I mentioned that I can procrastinate. I mentioned that I can be lazy. Those things will always live inside me. I do have a negative side to me that not a lot of people have seen because I've worked really hard to not be negative. And it's a matter of that I have decided, and I've been very intentional to not choose that. I do grant myself some lazy days here and there, and I have hacked my procrastination so I don't procrastinate. But I have chosen the other path of like, no, I'm choosing this way and I'm deciding this is who I am and this is who I'm being. And with this is going to come some tests. There are going to be situations or people or things that are going to trigger you and that are also going to try to take you off the path or try to have you react in a way that an old version of you might. And it's all about you deciding, nope, that doesn't align for me. I don't react in that way anymore, or I choose differently. I think I give off a lot more of that masculine energy of like, you have to do this and that and blah, 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 blah. And I have been having a really nice balance of being in the masculine and wanting to fix everything, wanting to be in control, wanting to be on top of things, but then also listening to the feminine side of like, nope, let's sit on it. Let's sleep on it. We don't need to react right away. We can respond when we want to, that kind of thing. And that's just what's been really powerful about this reinvention period is noticing those dynamics. And I was just telling a friend this, that like, I feel like with each test or each trigger, I'm like responding in a way very quickly and I'm finding the lesson right away. And it's just such a shift because I feel like I would be in a pity party or like whatever about it, but like I'm bouncing back a lot quicker. And that's all come from me deciding, I'm going to choose differently. I'm going to move differently. I'm going to act differently. I'm going to show up in this way. And, I don't know if I want to call it like higher self embodiment. Like it just really is your best self embodiment, right? This is you tapping into that best version of you. And that's always going to continue to elevate. Like, I found that in the past when I was my best self from a place of anxiety and a place of fear, whereas this version of me is my best self from a place of love and a place of gratitude and a place of abundance and a place of just like knowing and trusting that is just so different and so much more powerful and potent. That it just feels really, really good. And I hope that this just serves as a reminder to you that you are so capable. I've been working for myself for the past 2.5 years, but I used to be the girl that was working a 9-to-5, that was working a side hustle outside of her 9-to-5, that was looking forward to the weekends to escape, that was over drinking, that was making poor decisions on the weekend. I was also the girl that like was very lost in her life and was so unsure of where she was going, but she knew that she was meant for more. And I know that that version of me is so proud of the version that is sitting here today. And if that is evidence for me that like change is possible, it should be evidence for you that change is possible. And I just want you to give yourself more credit because you probably have been putting in the work. You probably have been making changes. And you might be feeling like it's not enough. And I'm not here to tell you that it's not enough. It is always enough. Whatever you've been doing is always enough. And wherever you are at in life right now, it is so perfect for you because you are always exactly where you need to be. And so the only thing I want you to get out of this is that if you have been unfulfilled, though, continuously unfulfilled, unsatisfied, unhappy, stuck, whatever it may be, no one is going to come and save you. It is only you that can decide today that you want to do something about it. And it doesn't have to be this overnight thing. It's all about these little incremental things, just like journaling an affirmation that you're hot, journaling an affirmation that you are successful, telling yourself that I am enough. You don't have to make these huge changes just yet. You can make these tiny little incremental changes, like implementing a morning routine, like taking care of your body, taking care of your health, all from the place of who are you becoming and who are you wanting to be. And that way you can make the bigger changes, like quitting your job and starting a new job, like working for yourself, like starting a podcast, whatever those big things, you can grow into that to get the confidence to do those things. And you can start today by choosing these little things differently, by deciding, no, I'm not going to scroll on TikTok, until the late hours of the night. I'm going to read instead, or I'm going to journal and connect with myself, or I'm going to do like a whole self-care routine before I go to bed instead of scrolling. Like, it's these little incremental changes that you can start to make that align with who you want to become, that then compound over time and completely transform your life. So that is all I have for today on reinvention. And I hope that this was a nice little comforting pep talk that you might have needed. Let's pull some cards for the week and just some podcast updates. I obviously missed last week. To be fair, my cycle was just not doing, it just was not, to be quite honest, my period and my cycle were pretty rough this time around. I think just with things going on in my life and stuff like that. But we were able to bounce back, but I'm continuously experimenting with my content creation process. I am going out of town this week, and I'm hoping that when I get back, it just starts the next sprint for myself to kind of align with what's going to work best for this podcast. So I appreciate you being here. This podcast is going nowhere. We're just working out some kinks and whatnot. But affirmation for this week is, I soothe away anxiety and stress by choosing to do things that help me relax. Yes, I soothe away anxiety and stress by choosing to do things that help me relax. Higher Self says, there is no Photoshop or Insta filter for your energy. Take responsibility for the energy you bring into spaces. If you are tired or triggered, honor that. We love to see it. We love to see it. There is no Photoshop or Insta filter for your energy. This is definitely like a lot of energy things, taking care of yourself, anxiety, stress, choosing ways to take care of yourself this week is going to be key. There is a full moon this week, so that definitely aligns for what's going on in the cosmos. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, definitely let me know. In the show notes, I will leave the Life Rebrand Masterclass if you want to purchase that replay. It is definitely super potent, and that is a great place to start if you are just wanting to, figure out how to rebrand your life and how to really change your life. And then if you are interested in Activate Your Life, like today's episode was a nice little taste of that, what you can get, but an extra layer of support and accountability and education, all of the things that I incorporate into my group coaching programs. I would love to have you inside. It is $444. That's the full price. You can do a payment plan of $111 for 4 months. That would be $111 each month for 4 months. And if you have any questions, let me know. That early bird price is changing. If you are listening to this episode, August 29th at 11:59 p.m., the price will go up to $666. However, for the podcast family, if you missed out on this early bird and it's like past it, just send me a screenshot of when you're listening and I would be happy to honor that price for you. So just let me know if you have any questions. My DMs are always open. My email is always open and whatnot. I hope you guys have an amazing week, and do not forget, it is always your time to enter your fulfillment era, and you have the power and the choice to decide. So this is your fulfillment era, which means your life and your rules to play by. I love you guys. I hope you have an amazing week, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.